I spilled coffee all over my lap.
Oh my goodness.
You look so bright.
I look so bright. That's how I roll.
Coop, I am so excited that you're here, and you have a ton of experience in film and acting and filmmaking and producing. Is that right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, in the entertainment industry in some aspect for over 30 years. My father was a television director, and my mother was an actress, and I just kind of grew up in that environment.
Yeah.
And, I think I've always had this like really strong desire to help people, and I think about 10 years ago, I thought about how can I use the skills and gifts that I have to really help others. And I said, I love helping people. I love video. Why not help people with video? And that's kind of just how I was born. And so, what I do now is I make corporate videos for people for their explainer videos for their websites and things like that. But I love it. It's been an amazing journey. I'm very blessed. And I've always been fascinated with the art of filmmaking and telling a great story.
And I've had the blessing of working with Coop on several projects. So It's been a really fun and great and enlightening experience. So before I hit the 10-minute timer, because we promised to give you fun 10 and 10 minutes, I just want to ask a question. Can you remember a time you watched a video that made you smile, that made you cry, and inspired you to action? I mean, I certainly can. And what about those videos that teach us? Those videos that solve our problems, those videos that give us that aha moment. For me, those are powerful videos. Those are truly the powerful videos that will keep me engaged so I don't click on to the next thing. So what I love about the title today, it's how to create powerful videos that will attract your ideal client. And even more than that, even if you're not looking for the ideal client, what if you're looking for the ideal mate or the ideal lifetime partner? Well, now, of course, I have my lifetime partner, Greg. I know you're watching. Mwah, I love you like crazy, but there are people who are looking for a lifetime partner or for an evening, and having a powerful video.
That's a whole different video.
Might help you.
That's a whole different type of video.
Stay tuned, and this should be fun. So I am about to go. Oh, Felix from Pinpoint is on. Hi, Felix. Great to see you on the show. I am here and I'm clicking the 10-minute timer.
All right, I'm ready.
About to learn the 4 pillars to powerful video. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, in 10 minutes?
In 10 minutes.
Right,
are you ready?
This is like a weekend that I've done my program. It's like 2 days and you want me to get it in 10 minutes. So, all right.
Ready? We got to get going. Are you ready? Rev it up. Rev your engines. Ready, set, pillar 1. Go.
Great. So when it comes to making a great video, I mean, there's basically 4 components. And the first one is message, which is really key. It's the most important part. You got to have a message that matters. And, when you talk about message, it really goes into story, because who doesn't love a great story, right?
Yeah.
So the most common story when you're creating a video to teach, creating a video to attract people into your realm, your business, your funnel, wherever you are, is the hero's journey, because it's something that people can relate to, and it's going to really magnetize your message to attract the ideal client. So, where you started, why you do what you do. Simon Sinek, one of my favorite books, his book is called Start With Why. And it's so important. Why do you do what you do? Because that'll really narrow down what your message is and how you can help others.
Coop, I think that's really important, because I think having that story will really grab your audience. And when I've watched videos, when I feel like I'm having a sales pitch right off the bat, it's click on to the next.
Yeah.
So when you really engage with a story that's authentic and real, it keeps your viewers captured. And it's authentic. It's real. You're telling what's going on. Yeah, I like it.
Exactly. And then when you look at the story, where's your audience in their journey? Are they just starting their journey? Are you trying to help them pack? Don't do this, make sure you have this in your backpack, before they start their journey. Or are they in a tough part of the road that you've already been on? Are they in quicksand and there's a specific result that they're looking for that you can help them because you've already gotten that result? or are they 1 inch from the summit? Are you they just that one tiny inch that that tiny shift, that if you make that little shift, it's going to get them the result they're after? So I think it's looking at your own story and your own journey, and then where is your viewer? Yeah. Where is your ideal client on their journey, so you know exactly how to help them. So message is so important.
Right, and nobody watches a movie where someone's born happy, lives a happy life, and ends their life happy. It's just boring. We pay to go to the movies where we have ups and downs, and we pay to be moved. So pillar 1, message.
Yes.
Perfect. Pillar 2, let's move on.
Pillar 2, then you got to take that message and your content, and you got to create a movie. It's not just a video. I stopped thinking about videos just being a video. It's really a movie because it's taking somebody on a journey, and there's really 2 elements. First, you got to have the right equipment.
Yeah.
Now, so many people focus so much on what camera do I get, what lighting do I set up, what microphone do I get, all that stuff. And honestly, it's the least important part of the entire making a video.
But it can be very overwhelming, Coop, because there's so many video cameras out there. And I've learned you can actually do a video with your iPhone, and it can be pretty darn good. Totally.
And, use what you have. The thing about getting started making videos is to get started, So don't worry about the camera. The thing is, the technology is constantly changing.
Right.
If you look at the iPhone that's out now, or the Samsung Galaxy that's out now, the quality of the camera, the HD camera that's in there, is so much better than it was even a year ago. So the technology is going to consistently evolve. So, it's kind of pointless to say you need this, this specific camera, because it's going to change. So start with what you have. You can use your phone. You can get these adapters. I don't know if you can see this, but they cost like less than $5, and you put your phone, in them, and then you just put it on your tripod, and then you can record your video. That's one thing. That's a piece of gear I definitely recommend, is to get a tripod, because nobody likes looking at a shaky video that's moving all over the place. So you want that stability. So so use your phone, get a tripod, and get one of these little gizmos that you can snap on there to make your phone really stable.
Perfect. And to move you along, Coop, I know that sound is key. I tell you, if I can't hear someone, even if the video is looking beautiful, I click out. So tell us quickly about what we can do for sound options.
Yes. I mean, right now I'm on my desk. I'm using like a Blue Yeti, which is a great quality microphone that plugs into your laptop or your computer. But you can also use a lavalier mic. And a lavalier mic is one that kind of just pins on your shirt.
Yes, and this is what it looks like. It's very small. Yeah. It clips on. And this is the windscreen right here. It's easy.
Yeah, you just plug it right into your phone and you get quality sound. Because honestly, whatever camera you use, whether you use a phone, an iPhone, the iPhone mic isn't bad, but here's the problem. If you're filming and this is facing you, the microphone is here facing that way.
Right.
So you're not going to get good sound.
Got it.
Plug the lavalier mic in there and then clip it on your shirt. Now it's focused right toward your mouth. You're going to get great sound.
Perfect. So, Coop, we're moving you along. We're making the movie. We're in pillar 2. We've got our equipment.
Okay, we're rolling.
Make the movie.
The next part.
Make one.
Okay, the next part is lighting. So I prefer natural lighting. Right now, I have light coming in from my window, but then you also need light, what's called a fill light, coming in from this side. Look what happens. I have the light coming in from my window, and I'm going to turn off this light. Now, I have shadows all over this side of my face.
Kind of like a Hitchcock movie.
Right? So you need to have balanced lighting. So usually you have 2 lights kind of at 45-degree angles, so it hits both sides of your face.
Yes.
And one is usually a little stronger than the other so that you don't wash your face out. But I like using natural lighting, and then I use a little fill. Make sure when you record your videos that you don't sit with your back to a window, because then you'll look like you're in the witness protection program, because the camera will blow up that light and then it'll be dark complete on your face.
And always test your videos, and you can get cheap lights. I just bought a set of desk filming lights for like $40. Okay.
Right.
So we're still in pillar 2. We're still in pillar 2. Make the movie. Now it's take 1. I'm in front of you.
I gotta talk. This is. All right. So the next thing is your background. if you want to have your background, I have like, you can do whatever you want. Just make sure it's clean. I know that, a lot of people make these videos and there's like dirty clothes on the floor and stuff like that. So just make your background nice and clean so that people can focus on your message. But here's the thing about background. A lot of people like to have those like white backgrounds. And actually I have one that I can pull down. But the thing about white and infinite white background is it doesn't tell anything about you. Like, Gina, I like that you have that goddess statue behind you.
Right. Because
kind of like Malcolm Gladwell with Blink,
yeah,
people make an impression right away, and that tells something about your personality. Right. So I actually personally like videos that have something in the background, a poster, don't go with like the cheesy plant on the table, but I mean like something in the background that tells something about you. So that's about that.
Pick it up. So here's the deal. Here's a very important piece of advice.
Yes.
Let's ditch the videos and the photos in the bathroom. Seriously, those bathroom selfies, gotta go. Okay, Coop, we're still in pillar 2. You only have like 3 minutes to go. So pillar 2, we want to shoot the movie. Go.
We're going to shoot the movie. Make sure before you shoot, take a breath, center yourself, and focus on the person, the one person that's on the other side of that lens. It needs to be specific, because when you connect with your one person, and it could be somebody personal, it can be your spouse, it can be your mom or dad, it can be somebody. But when you focus on one person, it gives all the energy of what you have to say importance when you see their face, and it makes it so much easier to connect to that person on the other side of the lens. Because you don't want to talk to the lens, you want to talk through the lens, all the way to that other person so that they feel it on the other side.
You gave me great advice because we were filming yesterday. What?
I have a minute and 30 seconds. So let's talk about the third pillar, which is marketing your message. So you have a great video, you got to get it out there.
Yep.
There are amazing things with Facebook ads that can target your ideal client.
Yes.
Know who they are. The more you know about who your ideal client is, not just their personality and their energy, but like if you know their age demographics. Facebook has done so much of the work for you with targeted Facebook ads.
Yes.
So that you can target people who, read this type of magazine or watch this type of show or follow this type of guru. And then those are the people you should go after. The other thing about marketing your message is that use things that are topical. Right now, people are talking all about Trump's hands. Make a video and kind of just tag, but it's not about Trump's hands. I mean, whatever you want, but it makes the tagline, the headline, something interesting that people would be willing to click on, and then then they can see your message.
Coop, I'm going to give you an extra minute on this, Blab, because I want everyone to know that you will be able to ask Coach Coop questions right at the end of this 10 minutes. So great. I know that there are a lot of comments, and I'm going to follow those, and we'll answer those questions. And so, Coop, give pillar 4 a little extra time if you want, because people want more. So go for it.
I have 7 seconds. Really, pillar 4 is all about it's about psychology. It's about the mindset. Know that your message has value. I mean, that's just that's the short and sweet of it. There are many people out there talking about what you talk about. Don't concern yourself about it. People are not paying for information. They're paying for your perspective on that information. And there's nobody that was kind of sassy. There's nobody that has your story. That is your uniqueness. That is your gift. That's what's special about you. So make sure that you own your own greatness. Don't concern yourself with the noise out there of all the other people talking about, business coaching or talking about, spirituality, whatever. Every topic has been covered, and there's tons of people out there talking about it. Know that you have a specific journey and a specific greatness, and you are unique. That's what I have. So. Right. 10 minutes, an extra 50 seconds.
That's okay, Coop. I just really want to be respectful for the 10-minute content chunks that people want. And it's great because let me stop the timer. Our 10 minutes is up. And now we can answer questions. There's some really good comments here. One from Patrice about clothing.
Yes.
Can you talk for a moment? I'm gonna address that now. She was saying that the blues look great. Can you give us some more information?
Sure. I mean, I think clothing, I think you should wear what you normally wear. I mean, this is a shirt I would normally wear. Show off your personality with your clothing, but be aware that clothing that is incredibly distracting, if there's lots of stripes, men who wear striped ties, the camera can sometimes make that moire effect, so look like there's bugs crawling on you. I like simple, but there are some women who just wear like crazy colors.
Right.
If it's part of your personality, wear that. Just know that the more distracting what you wear, the more distracting it is. It takes away from your message. So. Right. So just keep it simple. I like a solid color for men, a solid color. But ladies, if you have jewelry, if you have a pin, there's lots of ways that you can add, your own style to what you wear.
Very nice. And, I'm if anybody's out there that wants to ask a question and join in, call in and we can add you to the Blab. In the meantime, we have a question. The Baron von Kloes, how would your lesson on videos apply to high school classroom settings that he deals with every day?
Sure. Just a little more specifics, Baron. Are you talking about you make videos that you're in a classroom setting, like you're teaching your class? I think.
Yes, he says yes. I'm just reading our question.
The great thing about teaching in a classroom is that, the setting, if you have a chalkboard or a blackboard, people love when you give specifics to your content, and you can use the blackboard as a great way to teach. So I think classroom setting can be great. It depends, again, on who your audience is. What's the age range of your audience? Who are you speaking to? You're talking to high school kids. Find ways to make it topical, because kids today are on the Instagram, they're on the Snapchat, they're looking at current events all the time. What's the most topical thing? And if you can relate it, the lesson, to something that is topical, it's a great way to keep them engaged.
Great answer. We have a question that says, from Dragon Marina, welcome. How would your lesson apply to webinars?
The webinar structure is made for this. When people, first of all, you got to have a great headline that's going to attract people to your webinar. So something that they really want. So when you think of your target market, what are they hungry for? What are they searching for? Mm-hmm. So when you think about your own journey and your own message, how in your journey what are the markers and the lessons that you went through, and how can you create a webinar to avoid those pitfalls?
Right.
That you're helping person go from one result to another result. So what is the journey that's going to get them there? And you got to make it in a headline, something that they really want, that they're hungry for, and that'll attract them to your webinar. And then once you're on the webinar, when you structure, I definitely don't believe in winging anything. Don't wing your videos, don't wing your webinars. Especially if you're trying to get them to take some sort of call to action at the end, or buy something. Look at, when you structure your webinar, what are ways that you can create interaction by asking questions, by telling stories. Find ways that you can make it interactive. You can do polls. Webinars are just brilliant for
dancing polls.
Dancing polls. Polls like asking questions.
Yes.
The other great thing about webinars is that there's no rule that says that you physically have to be on the webinar. You can do it completely with slides.
Right.
So videos. There's so many options with webinars, but it still follows the same structure: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And find ways to weave in, what it is that you do, like, your product or service, or, when I teach people this, or when I coach people, I talk about this. That's called seeding, and you find ways to seed in what you do professionally into your webinars, so that when it comes to the end, that there's no real surprise. They say, hey, I hope you got value out of this webinar, and here's the next step, because people always want to know what's the next step for them. So
that's really helpful. And I wanted to add one thing, about preparation, and rather than winging it. I feel like everything I do in life, and anytime I teach, everywhere I go, every person I talk to, I leave a psychic signature. Gina Kloes was here. So I want to be fully present, engaged, and prepared so that I could serve at my highest and my best when I'm serving people. So think about that. Take time to prepare. And there are going to be times you have to wing it, but all the preparation you've done before will come into play on those moments where you have an opportunity to share your content. Preparation is so important.
It's so key. And can I just tag on what you said?
Please.
As far as winging it, what I mean is, don't go into a webinar or a scheduled talk or something like that with absolutely no preparation. Absolutely, you should prepare, but it should also be not rehearsed.
Right.
People don't like anything that's, I mean, the audience is very astute. They're very aware now of things that are polished, that come across as too perfect. People don't want perfection. They want real. And so you can absolutely, do a Periscope on the fly, but just think about, or a Blab or whatever it is, you can do a video on the fly and upload it, but just think about before you hit record, before you go live, what are like the 3 points, or what's the 1 point I want my audience to walk away with at the very end? Or what do I want them to do at the very end of this quick 30-second video when I'm, at the ice cream parlor or wherever location you are, so just think about it before you go live or before you hit record.
Yeah, even the short videos we've been recording this week. I've been working with Coop on recording Gina's Magical Minutes. And you can, in 1 minute, get a great message across. And remember this, and the reason I think this webinar or this lab today is so important is that if you rush through your video and the sound isn't great or the quality isn't good or your camera's shaky, and then you spend a ton on marketing, all that's going to happen is millions of people are going to see this video that is awful. That doesn't represent you. Wouldn't want to put your signature on it, that will click people away, because bad reputation, those moments where people get your name and they say, no, it's not going to happen, that will cost you more than all the good advertising out there. So be mindful of everything you present to the world, every moment, every word you utter to someone, and the videos that you create. It's so important. Coop, we have more questions here. Oh, there's one from Suzanne. I know Suzanne's in the UK. Hey, Suzanne, how do you make sure you connect to your audience and that they feel you are talking to them? And I just saw someone trying to call in. So call back in and we'll pull you in. And in the meantime, answer Suzanne's questions. How do you make sure you connect to your audience, that they feel you are talking to them? And whoever was just calling in, please join in again and I'll log you in.
Great. So Suzanne, a great question. I think connecting to that one person makes it so personal. So, a lot of times people make videos and they're like, in their mind, they're like, hey, everybody, it's great to be here, blah, blah, blah. And they start talking about their video and there's no specificity of who they're talking to. The way somebody feels that you're really talking to them is to really talk to them. It can be a little strange, especially when you're starting out or if you're not familiar with it, to talk to a piece of plastic or a piece of glass and feel really connected to the person you're talking to.
Nice.
But, as you get better at this, it's almost like you look through the lens as if you're looking into the eyes of somebody that you really care about. And I think that really, as long as you're connected to that person in your mind's eye, it really helps you feel connected, to have that sincerity, that authenticity, is that you really come from a place of service. And the second part of that is don't, people get in their head, like, what do I say next? I'm not really sure. And that goes internal and it's all about you. It's not about them. So so I say, think out, not in, have a your cheat sheet or your guideline or your outline or whatever it is, but really get that point and then focus on them and put all your energy to really serving and really giving them what they need. And I think that'll really help you find that connection.
We did that this week when we were filming my Gina's Magical Minutes. We, at a couple of different points in time, I looked straight into the camera as coached by Coop. And, imagine I was talking to my daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, who I wanted to share my message with. And it changed my whole energy, my whole state. And it helped me focus out, not in. Because if we're worried about how is my hair, how do I sound, do I know enough, am I smart enough, all of that energy goes internal. And we're not even paying attention to anybody out there. And if you ever gone to a party or an event and you met someone that was a smarty pants and they only just talked about themselves, I have a PhD, I have an MBA, I ran this CFO, I was on a TV show, I have this great product. And they never
You're absolutely amazing.
And they never talk to you and really get to know you. So when you're focusing on yourself, you are not serving the person in front of you. And if you get outside of all of this and really focus here, it's as if you're talking to someone, and you really love them, and hopefully you really do love them and you're authentic. Yep. But it'll connect. And if you have that one person, even if you're imagining them in your camera, it changes the whole energy of your program.
And you can literally help that by taking a picture of, your
yes.
loved one or significant other and just tape it right under the lens.
Yes. It's great. And just think about that. Again, it's your psychic signature. You don't want to be the smarty pants where it's all about you. You want to be out there serving and loving your audience. Okay. Durham Skyrider, do you want to come right back in, or Indie Band Network? If you want to call in right now, we'll take your question live. And
that's the best blab he's ever been.
Here we go. We're blabbing now. Here we go. I'm accepting in a caller, and here we are. Hello. Welcome. Do we get to know your real name?
Sure. It's Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. Welcome. Very nice to have you today. What's your question for Coach Coop?
I have a quick question. As a matter of fact, I saw Durham Skyrider in here. She knows who I am. I am. What would you consider a powerful video or something? I have a band that I manage.
Yeah.
And so we're using Periscope and Blab to get messages out there. Right. And to get people to follow them on Facebook and Twitter and come to their shows and whatever. Is there anything other than what I'm doing right now? Is I'm broadcasting the shows, part of their shows live, a couple minutes here and there, just to give people, a teaser to come watch. And then we're coming on Blab once a week, having a Q&A, and they're sitting there with the guitar and singing an acoustic song just to get people to know them better.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to be doing is inviting other independent artists to come on and talk about, what they can do, what they're doing, how we can help each other to build a network of bands and artists to help each other with Facebook and all the different social media sites we can follow, tweet, and fan. So what would be a good to get this going? I mean, other than what my people I know, I can get my 6 people, my 6 friends to come watch. But what would be a good way to advertise or to get out there that we're going to be doing this, other than just when I Periscope them?
Right. I think, Facebook now has live broadcast, which is awesome because when you do Facebook Live, it ties into your entire network. So, building a list and building an audience is not overnight. I don't know anybody that does that. It's something that you have to grow and nurture, just like you're growing a plant. You put a seed in the ground and it's not going to be a tree tomorrow. It takes time. But there does become a tipping point where all of a sudden your raving fans, the people who have been with you from the very beginning, those 6 people, those 8 people, whatever, then they start really spreading the message and spreading the word. And then it starts catching on. I think what you're doing is great. I think Periscope and Blab and things like that, the social media audience now has become very, very interactive. And they like kind of peeking in on the behind the scenes. I think with a band, what you're doing is awesome. Behind the scenes, mic check, sound check, doing a Periscope before they go on stage, having somebody like backstage, but like almost like as they're introduced, and have the band, like whatever, they're backstage ready to go out, and then they go out on stage. And if people can be part of that, I think it's a really cool thing for, building an audience. They want to be on the journey with you. So I think it's cool. If the band is just kind of starting out or at the place where they're in an area of growth where they want to get known, they want to get seen. I mean, you're creating almost like a little mini documentary by making these little videos of them along the way. And I think that's what I would do as far as a social strategy is I would do like a daily or every other day, Periscope or Facebook Live, so that people can start to they start with your band from the very beginning. Because then years from now, when the band's famous and opening up at the Staples Center or wherever they are, they go, "Hey, I was with these guys from the very beginning." Right. So people love it here to root for.
Cool. I mean, we haven't done what you said there, but I have done is gone and scoped them in their rehearsals as they're creating new music and putting stuff together, and it's pretty, that's cool.
And the other thing I would say is that, ask when you have your viewers, ask them to spread the word. People want to support. And a lot of times people don't ask. They just do. They have absolutely no call to action when it comes to their videos and their scopes and their, whatever, their broadcasts. They have no call to action whatsoever. So, I think it's so important, even in just general videos, at the very end of the video, say, hey, thank you guys. We're about to go, do a session right now, but thanks so much for watching. Hey, spread the word about us. We're going to be performing at this place, this week, or, spread the word about us. We're doing scopes every day. Get people, share them on Twitter, share them on Facebook.
Okay.
People don't know until they ask.
Now, is Facebook Live, that's only on iPhone or Apple products right now, right? You can't get that on Android?
I am not 100% certain that, but I would think that if it was on an Android phone and you had Facebook, I think you can go live. I don't think there's any technological barrier there.
Okay. And I want to add something too. I think that oftentimes when people have a product or music and everything like that, they think, well, they'll blast it out to everybody on the internet. They'll just have a broad scope of where we're going to post, or we're just going to post a Blab, or we're going to post some, in one on Facebook. And I think being mindful of really who is your ideal client, who is your audience. Really take a moment and say, if I had to pick an audience, an ideal audience, who is that? And really create a profile of that person, and then ask yourself, what is the problem? What is their pain? Where will I find them especially? Maybe they're not on Facebook. Maybe it's somewhere else, but figure out where they are. The internet and social media is only one place, but figure out where they are. Talk to them in their specific area. Build your tribe from a small group of people that you can really love and nurture. You want to take care of your tribe. And if you have a band and a particular type of music that will appeal to people, find your people, find your tribe, market to them, take care of them, and then allow them to help you grow. I think too many people, well, everybody would love what I'm doing. That may be true, but everybody is billions of people. Pick a small subset, your ideal people, decide who they are, where they are, what they love, how you can speak to them in their language. Does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think one of my problems is I got to stop getting ready to get ready. I keep saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I keep saying things that I need to do to get prepared, and I just never do it. I need to just do it.
Just do. And Gina and Jerry, I'm so with you. And Gina and I have had this conversation, and that's why Gina's doing it right now. She's doing G Live, and I'm the same way, getting my product out there. You just got to do it, and your audience will then guide you of what the next step will be.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And one more thing, you don't want to be the best kept invisible secret in your industry. You're denying everyone your special story, your uniqueness. Nobody wants perfect. People hesitate because, oh my God, it's not going to be perfect. Perfect is a crappy standard. People want real. So get out your iPhone right now, shoot some video. Say, hey, we're just starting out. This is exciting for us. Join the journey. I know this video may be kind of raw and real, but people love raw and real. Yep. And they'll appreciate it. And they'll say, hey, he's a real person. I get him and he gets me. So get started. Otherwise, you're going to be the invisible person in your industry. And we're going to be having this chat a year from now. So follow Nike. Just do it.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Anybody else want to call in? And we do have more questions here. Coop, are you okay on time for a few more questions?
There was a question from Robert here. He just had a really simple question. Should you always have a call to action? And my short answer is yes. A call to action to me is not necessarily asking somebody to buy something. A call to action would be, hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to be on tomorrow, at 3, spread the word. It can be anything. But you also have to think about, what the purpose of this video is. If it's just you look at Gary Vaynerchuk is another guy, and he does videos every single day. He has Instagram every single day, but he's built a following. He's started it and nurtured it, and now it's completely reached the tipping point where there are people joining him every day. He doesn't have to do anything. But I think a call to action just means, what do you want the audience to think about today? Why are you doing this video? If you want them to leave with a thought or a feeling, or you want them to just check in with you again, or you have a question to ask, call to actions can be, hey, if you like this video, I'd love to know what would you like the next video to be about, lots of different things. But I think as people watch your videos, at the very end, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, what's next? So I always like to leave them with a what's next.
That's great. Coop, we have 2 callers, and we have Michael Haynes and Robert Lewis. So I'll take Robert. Robert will come in, and then Michael will get you on next. Here we go.
Morning.
Fun. How's it going, Robert?
I'm fine, Coach Cooper. How you doing, Gina?
I'm doing fabulous. Thanks for calling in, Robert. Blessed to have you.
Thank you. Real quick, thanks for answering the first question. Secondly, length of video. What do you think is a good length? Pardon me. I like doing video a lot, and I agree with what you're saying, Gina, as far as knowing where your tribe is located.
Yeah.
But how long of a video do you think?
That's a great question. So what are you want to make these videos for? Is it for list building? Is it for sales? Like, what are these videos for?
It's not list building, it's sales. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, I think, if you already have a list to market to and you're making videos, I think you can do like what Gina is doing with her magical minute. You can do like a 1-minute video, which is like, one thought, one idea, and you can just drip that out. Some people do 1-minute videos every day. I think make sure that whatever videos you do, commit to doing that and you don't want to let your audience down. So if you think a video a day is way too much, do a video a week. Just your audience is going to be looking for that video every week. When you build an audience, they have the video comes out usually the same day around the same time, or you go live the same day, the same time. So, do only what you can consistently do. And I think with video, about 2 minutes, there starts to be a little bit of a drop off. Okay. 2 to 3 minutes is kind of the sweet spot for videos. After 3 minutes, statistically, there's a huge drop off. If you have really engaging content, you can keep people on for a long time. After 9 minutes, there's another huge drop off. People don't usually stick around for 10 minutes to watch videos. Okay. Which, Gina, you have to consider what we're going to cut from this. But after 10 minutes, usually what I recommend is breaking up your videos. If you have 10 minutes of video that you can do, that means that you should be doing 3-minute videos, or break them down even smaller. What I like is like the video of the video of the week or the video of the day. Have one thought, one call to action. Just keep it really simple for them. People like bite-sized chunks that they can get, and if you're going to do, and that can always lead to a 1-hour webinar or, a 6-week course. I mean, you can take all your content and you can spread it out into something that really serves. But I think as you're marketing to your audience and you're nurturing your people, give them bite-sized chunks each day. Find ways that you can make it topical to current events, because that kind of is a fun thing that you can do. Okay. But there's lots of ways you can do it. But I think that the short answer is try to stay under 3 minutes.
And I want to add to that. I think that, as we talk about taking care of our tribe, it is so important that your word is your bond. Yeah. Okay. So maybe just start by putting one out there without a commitment on how often you're going to do it. See how long it takes. And so if you say, I'm going to do one a week, keep your word. Your word is your bond. And, a minute is a long time. By tonight, my first magical minute will be on my YouTube channel, Gina Kloes. So you can look for it. It's called Listen to Your Heart. And you're going to see how much content you actually can get in 1 minute. I have clips of other videos in there. I give a little lesson. I do one breathing technique, all in the period of 1 minute. So in 1 minute, you can get a lot in. And you don't want it to necessarily be perfect. You want it to be personal and real. So just get out there, find your tribe, decide where they are. And
are you feeling the vibes, Miss Gina?
I'm feeling the vibes. I do.
You feeling the love?
Yeah.
Love.
One other quick thing, and I lied. I said one question. One other quick thing. Repurposing. Right now, I'm Twitter, I'm Facebook. I like this video thing, guys. I'm in love with it. But I know everybody don't want to see my ugly mug as often. Can you take the same thing and put it, on a couple of other places so you're not always having to do a lot of work?
Yeah. Totally repurpose your videos. First of all, you got to realize that somebody might see your video for the first time one day, and then a year later they find that video. Somebody else finds that video. So putting out content, you're not going to reach everyone at the same time. People are going to find you from videos you did years ago. Okay. But you can always repurpose content. You can repurpose from a video, and then you can make a blog post, a written blog post, or you can take your video, have it transcribed, and you can add it to as a bonus to something you're selling. There's lots of different ways to repurpose content. I love it.
Yeah, and as Coop was saying, you can record it, and they're easy systems to create a podcast.
Yeah, podcast. Yeah, totally.
Podcast, you can do a blog, and then that way people can listen to a podcast on the radio. You could actually do videos where you're not even on it.
Yeah.
You record, I use GarageBand where you can flip through with a screencast and just do some shots or some other videos and teach your lesson without you ever showing up. And then you also want to make a personal connection yourself, right, so people know who you are. But after a while, when you have your tribe and those people you're caring for, they're going to want to get on and hear your content. And you don't always have to be on it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the time.
Good luck.
Yay.
Thank
so
you.
We have a couple more callers. We'll see you next time. All right. Let's see who we have next. We have, I promised Michael. Michael Haynes is next, and then we'll do Marcel. Michael Haynes at Get Mike Speaking. Okay. Let's see. Here he comes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Michael. How are you?
How are you?
I am incredible. I have a problem.
Yes.
My voice is kind of hard to understand at the best of times. Now, if I do a video, which I absolutely love, I love video.
Love it.
Now, how can I make my videos legible?
Perfect. Great question, Michael.
Yep.
So I can understand. People have difficulty understanding you. You can get your content out there. The question is, it's like, is it important for you to be on camera in the videos, or do you just want to serve with your content? What's more important for you?
I would much rather be on camera.
Great. So it's important. There are lots of different options. You could do interview shows. You can have somebody type in so that there's like teleprompting. So it's like captioning, so that people can people can see you and connect with you, and then have somebody be literally typing the words on the screen so that people can make sure that they get your message and they get what you say.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you have such a beautiful energy, Michael. I think it's absolutely, you should be out there.
I am a public speaker.
I love it. What's your message? What is your purpose and your message that you try to give people?
Okay, what I do is I go out and I talk to businesses about
What?
how to treat people in my situation in the customer service area.
Oh, how do people in your area, how do businesses work in the customer service area? Yes.
Absolutely. I think it's a beautiful message. And I think absolutely you should be sharing it. So fine. There's the technology is there that you can get your words on the screen.
Yes.
So that's what I would do, and I would make those videos. You can consider maybe you can do it live. You can absolutely do it live, but you might consider recording them and then having them edited so that you can shorten the time between your sentences, and it will be much easier for your videos to be absorbed by people really quickly.
I'm really heavy into LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn.
You love LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is great.
Absolutely.
LinkedIn is fabulous for business.
LinkedIn is great for business. It's a great way to build your list.
I don't like Facebook.
Then don't use it.
There's so many more options than Facebook. LinkedIn is great. There's many, many, many options that are great for connecting with businesses. I think you have a very important message for people in your situation or similar situations and how to connect with them. And especially when you speak and you're sharing your message with them, it gives them permission to speak their message too. Yeah. And it's important, and you're unique and special. And I think that it's really a beautiful message for people, and it's very inspiring. So please, and there are people commenting out here. Suzanne Burns from the UK. We want to connect with you, Michael. So great.
Durham Skywriter said Leland Best can help you with captioning.
Yeah. Mike's a really cool guy. I would watch your videos. So there's a lot of people out there right now that are inspired by you just coming on today. So thank you for that. We're grateful, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you in future Blabs. Thanks, Michael.
Don't worry, you will.
I love that.
I love it. I love it.
And
Thanks,
everybody
Michael.
else going too. You rock, Michael. Blessings. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Definitely. Have a great day.
You have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So now who is next?
John Beathan wanted to know where we're located. I'm in Los Angeles.
Yes, and I am in I'm in Manhattan Beach, and I'm up in Oregon, and I travel all over the country. So we're everywhere. And we travel a lot and teach. So next question now is, I know that somebody else had a question, so please call in again. I know that Gabby had a question about how does this all apply to live public speaking? Can you address that for a moment?
Totally, absolutely. I mean, it's the same exact framework. It's the same exact story. I think, when you look at your content, find ways that you can make it personal, find ways that you can add story. Stories have a beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the best speakers on stage are ones that have stories that weave into their content. You have to start with what is it that the audience wants, right? And then what's the journey that's going to get them there? So when you relate it to public speaking, think about your end point. What is the result that you want your audience to get? What do you want them to feel at the end? And you build it from the end backwards. So start with your call to action. If you're doing a sales presentation and you have to sell a product or service at the end, you have to know to the minute how long it's going to take to do that, so that when you're on somebody else's stage or on your own stage, if you know it's going to take 10 minutes to do your sales pitch at the end, that 10 minutes to the end, you got to transition into that. So start with the end backwards. And what are the content pieces? What are the value add pieces that you're going to give people when it comes to speaking? I think when it comes to delivery, connecting with your audience. I mean, literally looking at people. I think the biggest pet peeve I have when people are on stage is they're talking and they're walking over here, and then they're going to talk and they're going to walk over here, and there's no connection. The greatest speakers that I've seen speak, they literally look people like I'm looking at somebody in the first row and I'm talking to them and I'm going to finish my thought. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to talk to that person who's, 8 rows back on the aisle. And then I'm going to look at this person over here who's way in the back. You want to make sure that you're really connecting with your audience and so that they feel that you're talking to them. So those are the biggest tips. I think the same thing, your message, in this case, it wouldn't be your movie, but it's still your presentation, your delivery. And then, what is your call to action? How are you going to get them to take the next step?
I think that's great advice. And I know Gabby is about to embark and start college. And I think that the same applies when you're giving a presentation in a school setting as well. You want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
You do not want to read from a script.
Yeah.
And so prepare, maybe write out your script. And then remember, you don't want to have too many points. So I always say 1, 2, 3 many. So have 3 main points. And then when you go on stage, chuck the script, remember your 3 points, and just have a conversation with each person in the audience. And remember, it's not about you. It's about you serving the people that you're talking to and really serving them with love and wisdom. It's your genius and your greatness, and you will be gorgeous as well. But it's all about, if you're focusing on the people you're speaking to, you won't be focusing on yourself. It'll be serving them in a higher and better way. So next, we have another person calling in, and I know we only have a few more minutes, so we'll take a couple more questions. And we have Marcel. Here comes Marcel.
Man, I hope you guys can hear me.
I can hear you perfectly, Marcel.
Great. My wife is driving.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple of quick questions, and then I wanted to even reply, give out some information as well. I have a broadcast background for 25 years, broadcast radio. And I think a lot of broadcast radio principles for communications applies, no matter if it's on this new platform or not. I think a lot of times people get on here for the first time, and they don't know the principles that we've been using in broadcasting since the dawn of radio, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just throw those things out and discount them because we're on a newfangled way of broadcasting, because at the end it's still broadcasting. So, and I have a lot of those from doing it. But I wanted to know, because you guys are talking about video and the length and the different things, but how does that relate to live video streaming as we are doing more and more of that? I understand recorded content, that's a separate animal as I see it. But what do you say for live broadcasting? Because in the broadcast arena, what we do is the longer you're on, the more people you capture, right? Even it still applies at 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. We call it AQH, average quarter hours, right? That's how we rate. But you'll get people come in all the time. Same as with your setting here. You guys are on, and there are people coming into the Blab all the time. So what I do when I'm doing a live Blab, as this is I like to keep refreshing what we're talking about, the conversation, and do it in a way where it doesn't tune people out. For instance, you want to keep every so often just kind of very craftily say, hey guys, once again, for people who are tuning in, we're talking about X, Y, or Z. Just give a brief synopsis. That way it keeps everybody, engaged and entertained. So what do you say for live when you're broadcasting live? What's your idea for the length of time that you should broadcast?
Totally. I totally get it. I think you can serve in both aspects. I think that you're spot on. I've seen a lot of people make sure that every 10 minutes or every quarter hour that they recap what their topic is and what they're talking about. I don't know if we really thought that there were going to be so many people.
I know we were expecting 10 minutes like we normally do, and we've been almost an hour, so we're almost done here. But it's
a 15-minute Blab has turned into an hour broadcast, which is fantastic because there's been so many questions and so much interaction. I think when it comes to live, I think if people can do people who have podcasts and who do live broadcasts that are then repurposed and recorded. A lot of times, if they cut them down, so that they fit within their their audience's attention span, they can repurpose content and chop it up into pieces that are going to serve. So somebody might have a question about a specific thing, and hey, I want to repurpose that for another video or another blog post or something like that. So you can always repurpose material. If you have the choice that you want to do an hour Blab every week, then that's what you do, just like you would do any radio show. And you just mark out that time. And what I would recommend is if you want to do a 15-minute or a 30-minute or an hour show, that you always have content ready to serve in case, for whatever reason, you don't have an audience there.
Right.
You just use that time to really teach and add value and serve. But it's an absolutely great question. And I have people who do Periscope. I have friends that do Periscope to promote their webinar, to promote their content. And it's really not a lot of call in, ask questions. It's like, okay, in this Periscope, we're going to talk about these 3 things. Here are the bullet points, boom, boom, boom. Here's a recap. Does anybody out there have any questions? He answers 1 or 2 questions, and then he's out. So it's like a live broadcast, but it has a very specific purpose.
And it goes back to your audience. Like, I always think, who is your audience? What is their attention span? What are they looking for? The length of anything really depends upon your audience. Now, I do a radio spot every Wednesday morning on Daybreak USA, and it's 8 to 10 minutes. It's quick. They're mostly people driving to work. So it's what is their attention span? Who is your audience? When I teach young entrepreneurs ages 20 to 30, I know that I need to have 3 minutes versus teaching a course. It's what is the expectation? What is the outcome? And who is your audience to answer specifically? How long should something be? What should your message be? It really goes back to who is your ideal tribe and and who are they? And really understanding their psychology.
Yeah. Right. And the last thing I wanted to say real quick, being a broadcast veteran of 25 years, awesome. I heard Coach James mention, a segment of time to be used. But here's the thing. When you are aware of maybe every 5 minutes, if you can, in a clever way, just kind of, again, reset what you're speaking about, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, how long that that broadcast, if it's recorded. Because remember, even when you're streaming live, it's using the RTMP real-time messaging protocol that will allow it to instantly be available as a podcast that you recorded anyway.
Totally.
But if you, I think we should tell people to make sure that they reset the broadcast at different increments, 5 minutes, and then people can watch that for an hour or speed through, and make sure you say, hey, don't forget, guys, coming up, we're going to mention this, and then finish your sentence or whatever you're talking about. Also, later in the show, we're going to do extra. I don't see a lot of people doing that. And those are the broadcast principles that people don't know about if they haven't been in. Again, I'm just saying, if you haven't been in broadcasting, these are the tools that aren't available to people.
It's a great idea. You know, it's so important. And thank you so much for bringing that up.
Sure.
The great thing about Blab, I mean, I just think it's important. So everyone, if you're doing live, remember what he said. Marcel's so right on it. The great thing about Blab is when people log in, they've already seen our title, so they know what we're talking about. And yet it wouldn't hurt for us to continue to say it too. If there's a way that people choose, like on our Blab, it says how to create a powerful video to attract your ideal client. They'll know what they're coming into. And yet oftentimes live, they don't. So great advice, Marcel. Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
We look forward to hearing you again. And I think, thank you so much. We'll click out of here. I think that's about all we have time for today. What a great day today. Thank you so much, Coach Coop.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. Our Blab went way over, and we were really happy to add value. It was so fun. So fun. So you learned the 4 pillars. We have a gift for you. By tomorrow, on my website, GinaKloes.com, you could go to the G Lounge, which is my, I love the G Lounge too. And there'll be a written recap of the 4 pillars. And Coach Coop's going to be doing a webinar in a few weeks, and there'll be a link to that. Yep. So we're grateful to have you, Coach Coop, and we'll have you back in a few weeks. The G Live show is on Sundays at 10 a.m., where you find your genius, your greatness, and your gorgeous. Next Sunday, we are going to have a fun time because Brigitte Sumner is going to do a show with me, and we'll interview her about her book, How to Give Him His Balls Back. That means, men, if you would like your balls back, tune in next Sunday at 10 a.m. Bring your women. Maybe she'll be tempted to give them back to you. And it's a beautiful topic, actually, about masculine and feminine energy. And really, it's a great topic. I know Coop knows about it too.
I'm holding on to my balls.
Hold on to them.
I'm not giving them up.
I know, but if somebody has snatched yours,
yes,
come on next Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We are grateful for all of you and your amazing feedback and questions. I know people are going, what? Next Sunday.
You got to tune in. You got to tune in now. You got to
balls back, seriously. And so just know that this will be on YouTube. We'll edit it up and put it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Gina Kloes. You can go to my website, get a recap of this week's and last week's. Every week we'll do a recap. We will see you all next Sunday, 10 a.m. Be well, be joyful, be inspired, and have a beautiful day today. Mwah. Signing off. Be well. Thanks, Coop.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye for now.